I want to take you to a place that we call a triple threat restaurant, which means they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There aren't a lot of restaurants that are open for all 3 meals a day anymore, but you can get it at Rozafa Bistro in Quincy. You want Italian food? They got it. You want seafood? They got it. You want some eggs and a Bloody Mary? Yeah, they got that too. So Rozafa calls itself a Mediterranean bistro, and their food has influences from all over the Mediterranean: France, Italy, Albania. The family that runs it is Albanian, and in fact, the name Rozafa comes from the famous Rozafa Castle, which is located in their hometown back in the old country. This version of Rozafa is in the heart of Quincy Center, and it's a bit less ornate. It's a small brick building that at one time housed the Registry of Motor Vehicles. So these days, the only people lining up here are the ones who come for the affordable, delicious, made-from-scratch food from morning until night. Chef owner Marlon Vila is in charge of the dinner menu. His mother, who was a longtime pastry chef at Mike's Pastry in the North End, she runs the show at breakfast and lunch. And the restaurant has a completely different vibe from the morning and at night. They're open for breakfast every day, and the top dish I'd recommend is the Tuscan breakfast. This is a big way to start your day, featuring 3 eggs, however you like them, along with some tomatoes, baby spinach, and gorgonzola cheese. It's served with some toast, and most importantly, the hash browns. These are just so good with perfectly seasoned shredded potatoes that got all nice and crispy and toasty on that griddle, along with a spicy Bloody Mary spiked with some bacon and cocktail shrimp, and you are gonna have yourself a day. At lunch, go for the signature Rozafa burger. You get a juicy ½ pound of fresh ground beef that's stacked with grilled tomatoes, mushrooms, onions, and gorgonzola, which gives it some extra creaminess and lots of depth of flavor, all served on a fluffy, toasted bun. Now, as it starts to get a little later in the day, a new crew comes into the kitchen, the dinner menu rolls out, the dining room starts to fill up, and people start sitting at the bar as well. There's also an outdoor patio for the nice weather, and now it is dinner time. So to kick things off, you might want to consider the charcuterie platter. This can change night to night because the chef selects all of the best meats and cheeses he can get his hands on that day. So you'll have a nice selection of salamis and hams, prosciutto. There's always some delicious Mediterranean cheeses in there, and it comes with some classic condiments and awesome thick-cut grilled bread. The French onion soup is another excellent starter, and this isn't one of those French onion soups that's blanketed in like 4 pounds of cheese. Not that there's anything wrong with that. This version is all about the broth. There's a toasted seasoned crostini on top, along with a layer of Gruyere cheese, and underneath there's that really heartwarming beef broth that simmers for hours, along with tons and tons of sweet caramelized onions. If we had to choose one dish that's the real specialty of the house at Rozafa, it would be the fettuccine bolognese. This is actually the mother's recipe, and she keeps it totally traditional. The meat sauce is slow cooked, so it's a little creamy and a little chunky, just the right balance. The pasta is made in-house, so it really clings to the sauce. Put a little Parmesan on top, and you have a very filling and extremely satisfying meal. Rozafa also makes some interesting pizzas. They make their own dough. They use premium toppings. This is the chorizo pizza. It has heirloom tomatoes, red onion, slices of local chorizo sausage, and cheddar cheese that comes from Buzzards Bay. Really nice combination of flavors. On the seafood side of things, check out the Fisherman's Feast. You got a ton of local seafood in here. I'm talking mussels, shrimp, clams, fish. It's all cooked up in a rich tomato broth, and that sauce is so good, you'll want to mop it up with the garlic crostini. And if you really want to go big, go for the stuffed pork chop. Just look at this dish in all of its glory. It's a thick-cut, bone-in pork chop stuffed with some prosciutto and melted cheese. There's a beautiful port wine reduction on there, and it's served over a pile of house-made portobello mushroom and spinach risotto. To end the meal, try the piping hot chocolate lava cake, and try to finish it off before the ice cream melts, and I guarantee you will leave this place satisfied. It's a true hidden jewel in Quincy Center, Rozafa Mediterranean Bistro.